President Biden says he will never stop trying to forgive student loans. Come on in, Gavin. He's the president of the New York Young Republicans, joining me now. What's the effect of student loan handouts on young voters? Do they go for it? Do they vote for Biden?
Listen, I think there's a lot of disaffected young voters. Obviously, the economy being what it is, they're not seeing the same opportunities their parents once did. So if the Biden administration is going to dangle some fruit in front of them, they're hoping that some will bite. But the reality is this will never go through. I think the Biden administration recognizes that. And I think most young Americans are looking for real leadership, not handouts.
But hold on a second. He's proposed this, a massive handout giveaway for student loans. He knows it's not going to be accepted by the Supreme Court, but they ain't going to rule on it till September or October.
The thing is that
he'll go into the election saying, I tried to help you guys.
Fair points. It's certainly going to move the needle somewhat, but a lot of the voters that he's going to appeal to with this move, particularly young voters, are already in his camp. So he's shoring up Democrat voters rather than winning new voters. I think this shows desperation rather than any sign of a future impending victory in the election.
If RFK Jr. gets on the ballot in New York, will he take voters away from Biden? Now, he's trying to get on the ballot. The petition opens on April the 16th. If he gets 45,000 votes, he's on the ballot. Does he take votes away from Biden?
Oh, absolutely. I think RFK, well, look, historically, third-party candidates in any election always hurt the incumbent, this being Biden, the incumbent in this race. I think that's only going to be exacerbated this time around with so many different third-party candidates. He's certainly going to pull disaffected liberals, disaffected Democrats. In a state like New York, he may make some blue states seem a little bit more purple, a little bit more competitive. As you remember, Reagan won New York when there was a third-party split on the liberal ticket. So we have RFK, we have Cornel West, we have, a libertarian candidate. The more candidates, the better. It all increases Trump's margins. So I encourage him to make the ballot. I'm urging all my friends on the other side of the aisle to, sign his petition and get on board.
Will you sign the petition?
Listen, if they
I don't think you have to be a Democrat or an independent to sign it.
I think you're right. I have to review election law, but I would be the first signature if it comes to me.
New York City's police commissioner, he's backed Mayor Adams' claim that crime is a perception issue. Watch this.
Perception versus reality. We are heading in the right direction for crime. But to someone's reality, someone who's been a victim of a crime, it tells a different story. And that's some of the things we're struggling with right now.
I think his argument is undermined by the presence of cameras everywhere. I know a lot of women in New York City who are afraid to walk around alone. And we've got all these cases of people being punched in the face. I think it's more than a perception issue.
Well, he says perception, I say gaslighting. I mean, that's just what this is. They're pushing a narrative. They're cherry picking the data. If you look at the data that they're, throwing around as some kind of big victory, transit crime is up 20% year over year. Compared January of this year to January of last year, it's like 48%. All major indexes of crime, I think arrests are up almost 6%, 5.7% exactly. So, they could come out there and say everything's good and dandy, and that's maybe what they say, but look at their actions. Look at Hochul sending National Guardsmen to the subways. Look at everyone talking about the crime that's happening. They could gaslight all they want. New Yorkers know what's really happening. They know what's happening in the economy. They know what's happening on crime.
But why don't more young people go to the Republican side? Because, look, this is my opinion. The Democrats have failed to run New York City efficiently or safely. It's a question of self-interest, isn't it?
Absolutely. Listen, I think there's some trends working our way. We need to do a better job on the party building front. We certainly need to do better jobs in different areas to grow the party. But we're up against, all the major institutions, the culture, the mass media, academia, corporate America. It's not exactly an easy fight, a typical political fight, but there are moves in the right direction. Hopefully that begins to change in the cycles to come.
It's 2024. In which year will you stand for public office?
Listen, maybe I'll run for dog catcher or something, but I'm not looking at any kind of public office right now, just enjoying day by day.
You told me that the most enjoyable part of the interview is when it's over. When it's over.
Oh. Were you nervous?
A little. Going into this, you got to be nervous. You got to get your facts right.
You've got a million people watching it. Don't worry about it, son.
Little things.
And come back soon, okay?
I will be back. Thank you so much.
Still ahead.